Are you listening?
It's anything and everything with Mel.
Damn. Yeah. Yeah.
All right, how's it going, everyone? This is Anything and Everything with Matt, and I'm here today with Cody Cedano, my friend Darius Arriaga, and Joey Faoro.
Hello.
How's it going, guys?
How you doing?
Shitty.
Just having some drinks over here. Well, only me and Cody, I guess, are having.
I might take one. What do you got in there?
Guys, Moscow Mule. I think I'm out of lime though. Just use the rest of lime. You could have a ginger vodka,
Ooh.
ginger ale.
Dude,
vodka.
Jack and Ginger. Oh, you don't have whiskey though.
No, I don't know about Jack and
I
Ginger.
actually might.
Vodka ginger might be okay.
Cool.
Ginger ale's that new drink, dude. I slept on it my whole life. I never liked ginger ale.
Is it in the fridge over there?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
You got another cup like that?
Yeah,
or?
Cups are in the fridge.
No, there's
cups are
only
not in
two
the fridge.
cups.
Cups are in the fridge. Cups are in the cabinet next to the fridge.
I want the one in the fridge though.
All I'm saying. That's funny.
So how you guys been? How's New York treating you, Darius?
New York's good.
How long have you been out there?
A month now.
Where's
Been
the
out there
accent?
for a month. No accent yet. I found
Cups
my.
are right across from the refrigerator.
Thought they were in the fridge.
Or in the fridge, yeah, there's a couple of them there.
No, it's funny. I find myself swearing a lot more now though.
Really?
In New York?
Yeah.
Really?
Because
So many people, bro.
that and just
I'd fit in perfect.
when you're driving, the traffic is ridiculous and people are just idiots when they're driving and you're always just yelling at them.
That's where it's from.
Yeah.
Traffic's gotta be worse here.
Built
there,
up tension.
right?
Oh,
There,
dude,
right.
gridlock is a motherfucker.
What's gridlock?
Nothing moves. Like
Oh,
cars are
that's a
just
term.
yeah. Gridlock is a term where cars are just so packed and there's nowhere for them to go, so they're just stuck there.
Fucking hell.
Literally stuck. People get stuck for like 2-3 hours.
What do you do about gas?
You're stuck.
Turn your car off.
Yeah, because you're not moving.
What do you do if you gotta shit your pants?
You're shitting.
You gotta find a hat or
You gotta
something.
have like toilets in your fucking
Hope you got
car.
wipies too.
Dude, how many people in New York you think shit their pants on a daily?
I bet you
Maybe not
there's
a daily,
There's
like,
so
how
many
many-
people there, you know?
Yeah, there's a lot.
Like,
of
what if
people
you're a
in
dude who's gotta get through gridlock almost every day and you got horrible, like, IBS, like irritable bowel syndrome, and you just diarrhea in your pants, like, at least
I think at
every
that
other
point,
day.
if he knew he had IBS, he'd be well prepared.
Oh, yeah, dude's got a porta
from
potty
home.
built
He
into
probably,
his
into
seat.
his seat.
He just, like,
Flush
presses
it.
the button like Batman. It just
It comes out of
turns
exhaust.
into, like, a fucking nice-ass fucking toilet seat. That would be luxury,
Yes.
dude, at its finest. Like a Tesla toilet car, dude, with someone with IBS.
See, I don't know how I trust a Tesla driving by itself.
Welcome back.
Yeah, I know, right? Slamming into another car,
I'm
shit
back.
going everywhere.
Yeah.
That would be the worst thing in the world, to get in a car accident when you're just taking a shit.
Mm.
That would be like the worst thing to ever happen. Taking a shit and then getting in a car accident at the same
How do
time.
you feel so good to shit, though?
It would help. It would help push it out.
For the first time ever, you'd be shitting in midair. You'd be shitting flying through the air in the middle of the street.
How long do you think until you're going to walk out to your car in the morning and you're not going to get in the driver's seat? You're going to get in the back and it's going to drive you around like a chauffeur.
I think 20 years.
20
I'm
years.
gonna say
20
less
years
than
or
that.
less.
Here's the problem that I have with like a Tesla though is if you're into cars remotely at all.
You have to take them on private roads probably after that.
Well, I think it's cool that they have models that can beat a Lamborghini in 0 to 60. Like that's impressive for an all-electric
Hell
car.
yeah.
But if you're any bit of a car enthusiast, you'd like to hear a big V8 screaming,
Yeah.
you know, or a big
yeah.
turbo with a blow-off valve every time you shift. Like that's cool. It is cool that you have a car that's all electric that can beat a Lamborghini, but it takes away a lot of the coolness factor of
They'll
that
just
if you
find a
don't
way
hear
for it,
anything.
like BMW. They put in the speakers of the car, they
Yeah,
emitted
but that's
a fake engine noise
that's
because the
gross.
car is so like in the speakers you can't even turn it off. It's like behind the music and it fucking plays in
Oh
the car.
my,
Like
I
it
did
sounds
not
like
know
it's the
that.
engine, but it's fake.
No, they don't do that. They're gonna do that.
No, they have it. They
Oh, they
do
have
it.
it?
Yeah,
they
some of their
do.
cars do.
But you know what I'm saying? Like if
That's kinda
part of
cool.
driving,
Yeah, fuck it.
I push that button all the time.
part of driving a cool, luxurious or sports car is that it sounds cool. You know,
Yeah,
it looks
for
cool.
sure.
And if you have a cool car like that, why the fuck would you want to get in the back of it and ride like a chauffeur? You know what I mean? You want to drive it. You want to feel the torque in the steering wheel. You want to shift the gears yourself. That
I
takes away a lot of
agree,
the aspect.
But
I
don't you
think it would be
it's-
lame.
I think it's cool as looking at it like a relic. Like the horse and buggy was cool, and it's still cool to look at when you're in a museum. But I think like the Tesla, you don't even have to drive it, or you can if you want.
But why
on
have
top
a
of
car
It can
$100,000?
fly and go underwater.
But why have $100,000 car that, you know, people
Makes
turn
you
their
nervous.
heads down the street and everybody looks at it and everyone's right in it. If you don't even drive it yourself, you know, and how long until, you know what I was thinking about is, you know how the Teslas have a radar sensor in the front. That's how it's able to stop on its own. Because right now, if you're on the highway and you have a Tesla, you don't have to touch anything. It'll drive, it'll stop if a car stops in front of you. But on a back road, if you go up to a stop sign, it won't stop and then go. It just comes to a stop and then you have to manually drive it yourself.
Mm-hmm.
But I was thinking about if you were put in a scenario and you were driving a Tesla that can drive itself totally without you having to touch it at all, not just on the highway and the back roads. And you come up to a situation to where you have to think in a split second, you need to avoid an accident. Because right now it can censor a car in front of it and it'll stop.
Yeah.
But what if you came up to a scenario where a car stops in front of you, to the left there's a homeless guy, and to the right there's a girl pushing a stroller with a baby in it? Is it going to be able to then make the decision of what would you do in that instance? You would have to think in a split second of, am I going to hit this car, a person, a brick wall, a stroller with a baby? Will the Tesla or any other car ever have the AI? Will it ever be able to make that decision?
Well, at least then you can blame it on the damn car.
Yeah, I
and
guess.
not get
But
blamed for like it wasn't me.
but you would hit
the car killed him.
Because like I've heard of that morality question. Like, would you want your car, your smart car, programmed to either hit the children in the road
Right.
or swerve off
Right.
and slam you into a wall?
And if it's a
kill
true,
you.
if it's a true like artificial intelligence, it would be able to make that decision. It would be able to have emotions and.
Yeah.
But is it enough to the point where you can go, where it's going to be able to think and go, oh well, you know, I don't want to hit the baby because it hasn't even lived a life yet, or I don't want to hit the homeless guy because, you know, he doesn't have a home to go to. And is it going to be able to think that much? And would it be able to do it better than you would be able to do it? You know, because technically, I mean, you know, your brain works just like a computer, and it's able to, as a human, you would have to make the decision of what would be the best decision for me to do, but you don't even have time to think about that. It would just be an instinct at that point.
Maybe we just need like better crosswalks, and because like honestly at that point.
But would you rather rely on yourself or on that car?
For sure.
Would you program if you could
I would
make
rather rely on the car.
So if you got in your Tesla and you could program it to where I want my car to make the decision over me, you would prefer that instead of relying on your.
I personally, I don't think I would even make that decision yet until I've known that it's been proven to like be more better and safer than human decisions. If that makes sense, like
because
I wouldn't just do it right now. I wouldn't be the test. I wouldn't be the guinea pig right now.
So another
like
example
in 20 years,
of that,
I'd be like in that Total Recall movie. I'd be surfing on that highway for
right.
sure.
But another, like so, right now with even any car you have, doesn't have to be a smart car or anything, but you have your ABS on it, right? Your anti-braking system. So that is supposed to work better than the average driver when it comes to braking. But if you are somebody who is pretty, you know, especially if you're fucking Mario Andretti, he would rather rely on himself instead of the ABS to kick in, because he would be able to brake better, would be able to do it. But they make that ABS so that your average driver isn't fucking Mario Andretti, so it's supposed to do that for you.
Okay.
But I think even like, I don't know if I would be able to do that, but I would rather rely on myself than the car, whether it's just the ABS or it's avoiding the fucking baby.
What if you can like test out? What if you could like do a simulation and be like, all right, well you can test a driving simulation. So what if you could simulate yourself driving and then simulate you with like the same situation as an AI would do it?
They would have to do that.
And you get provenly no, but you can like before you buy it. Maybe this is part of the sales pitch,
right?
Because people like you think that, right?
Right.
If I as a salesman, I'd be like, that's how I'd get you to buy the car. I'm going to prove to you that this thing can make a better decision than you.
You would have to prove that to
exactly.
me. Right. Yeah.
Well, through a simulation or something like that,
right.
You can make a fucking.
That would have to be part of their marketing, though. Is that
for sure? And if I could think of it stoned in a room,
sure.
You know, like
of course, they're thinking about that.
For sure.
Course, right.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying they can't do that now. But that was my question. Is like 20 years? You think 20 years people would just go fuck driving, dude? I don't want to drive. It's cold out. I'm gonna start my car from inside my basement and just get in and sit my coffee in the back and
awesome.
Let it do it there.
Yeah. If you had a TV, if you had like an hour fucking drive to work, you could sleep. You could sleep for another half an hour.
My part was like, dude, if I bought this really expensive ass car, I want to drive it. I like cars. I like driving. You know what
I do enjoy driving.
Of course you could, right? I just think it would be lame
that's
to
the
have.
old man thinking in us. You know, that's
I'm kind of old.
On to,
I'm not that
that's
old.
fine.
But,
I'm fine with.
But you know, that's like holding on to like.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying that's not, we shouldn't, but like look at them like you do as cars in like a museum. Like it was like, for instance, what I see when I look at a car, especially like if in the future, everyone's got smart cars, and those cars are looked
Right.
at as more relevant
Which you
and
will,
things
yeah.
that you buy and drive on certain
Right.
tracks or whatever, right? It's almost looking at those like, wow, we used to destroy our so many people. Can you imagine once the whole world is on smart cars and then looking back on that, being like,
Yeah.
that is horrible for the environment
But
and disgusting, and
for the
not saying it's not beautiful and awesomely engineered, but like, it's just the fact that like we are better than that thing.
So here's also why I bring that up. Like if you look at my Jeep Wrangler, it's a 2000, right? It has one computer in it. That's it, one computer, and it doesn't have a computer for the windows. And my brother just got a brand new 2017 Ford Fusion, right? And he was over here from Boston. He drove back, and I was driving it, and it can tell it's a front wheel drive car, right? But if the snow is on the road and the weather and the conditions are bad, it automatically kicks into all wheel drive, right? But even though I have a limited amount on automobiles and how they operate, but I know enough that I would rather rely on me manually pushing all wheel drive than just relying on the car. Now it has a computer for everything, and I feel like I don't need a computer for the windows and the heated seats that's just more mechanical problems that could then go wrong, and I don't know how to fix them because I don't work at a dealership, and I didn't even I wasn't there to create the car and understand how it totally works. So even you could compare that to like the AI that I said in the future about it hitting the baby or the homeless guy.
Mm-hmm.
But even now, there's a computer for everything, and that's just one more thing that can go wrong. That wouldn't go wrong on my Jeep Wrangler. That's 18 years old at this point.
Yeah.
You
But I feel like
so I don't want that though. I don't want a computer for everything. I don't want it to automatically kick into all-wheel drive.
feel like
I don't rely on. I'd rather rely on myself to push that button, and then I actually know I did it. I don't need this computer to malfunction, and then now I can't. It doesn't go into all-wheel drive.
Mm-hmm.
I'd rather rely on myself.
Yeah.
But most people don't want that. If you're not into cars or don't know much about them or anything, they don't want that. They'd rather get in and just fucking
Which is
go.
most people, too,
Which is
you know?
most people.
Mhm.
Elderly people or young girls that just got their license, they'd rather have that. But I would want that. So even now, I think that technology that's in my Jeep Wrangler is perfect. I don't need any more than that.
For now.
You know,
Until you can go 80 miles an hour in a smart car and never worry about touching any other car or any other object on a
and
fucking highway.
what's great about Tesla is that they're the
Or
first car.
150 down a... Because Tesla ain't gonna let no fucking Jeep or any car besides probably his Teslas in those motherfucking Hyperloop tunnels. Or like,
Sure,
you know what I'm saying?
no, yeah.
He's gonna be, this is fucking high class shit.
At the
You wanna
beginning-
fucking shoot across the country in fucking
That
2
truck,
seconds?
like fucking
Yeah,
blowing smoke out.
At the
Imagine that
sure.
dude get in there and fucking get the fuck out of here.
At the beginning,
Dude, fucking
sure.
kill half the people in there.
But-
fucking, you gotta pass an emissions
okay,
test.
so
before
you
get
would
into
like
it.
you would. I don't know. I just wouldn't want to rely on that.
Like eventually, that's where the world's going. It's a lot of it you just can't.
I don't want to
fight.
rely on that.
Just-
though.
And you know what
When
you gotta.
technology gets there, though,
But
it's gonna for sure get there.
I'll be alive. It will be in my lifetime,
old,
and I
man.
just don't want to rely on that.
See,
Like,
here's
I'd
what I
rather-
firmly believe in. Like with intelligence, with not only human intelligence, but with intelligence, the smarter and the longer an intelligent life form lives, the more it creates. If that makes sense. Like I feel like a side effect of intelligence is technology.
Sure,
like, we
or
can't
wanting
help-
to learn more.
We can't help but to make things better in our
Gain
society and
information.
improve things that we already do. Yeah, like it's kind of the way.
Well, that's how artificial
We're
intelligence works,
programmed.
right? I mean, it's able to take information and gather more.
So is
It's able-
technology inevitable? Like is the singularity?
like if you created a new Earth and just
And
put people on it,
Baby people.
would they
like,
repeat the
cavemen.
wheel? Would they repeat
Yes, exactly.
tools? Yeah, for sure.
They would, right? Eventually, they would find some way to make
Yeah.
their
Make things
hunting
easier.
easier, make
Yeah.
transport
You,
easier.
I feel like there'd be
create
no
the
way. Like
wheel.
if you
Eventually,
did
they'll
it,
spark electricity.
if you did it
It's because they'd had the same problems.
exactly. Well, yeah.
right,
So-
I guess if you were put on a different atmosphere, a different
Well, if you were-
temperature, a
yeah.
different
Eventually
planet,
you
you would
have to find a
develop
way to-
different tools.
But,
move,
if you
yeah.
were on an Earth-like planet and developed
9 times out
humanoid
of 10,
body,
nine
whether
times out
you're
of 10,
blue or
they would
green-
create the wheel all over again. And
Yeah.
They would realize, well, I don't want to kill a fucking tiger with my bare hands. I should probably get something I can stab the
Exactly.
motherfucker with.
eventually, it's almost inevitable to discover how can I hurt someone from long distances and almost send an
Yeah, the
object
arrow,
that
yeah.
fast over to that. Yeah, an arrow, a gun. I mean, it's almost inevitable.
Get him all the way over there.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
That's, you're gonna say that.
It's
that-
almost inevitable.
Yeah,
So like,
sure.
is it destiny that we're all creating something bigger? Like, and to think that there might be life somewhere else out there, it has to do with like the Fermi's paradox, like the
Yeah.
fact that we are alone in the universe,
Right.
yet it's so infinite.
So big, yeah.
And there's so many planets that are habitable for
But
smart, intelligent
you know
life.
what the true definition of infinity is?
Where do they all?
The way I've understood infinity, like true infinity, is not just a number so big you can't imagine. It's that everything that has ever happened will happen,
again.
and it will happen again.
Infin-
In true
yeah.
infinity, there's another planet out there where I'm you and you're me, or I'm me and I've said everything up to that knock right there, that pause. I've said everything. I would do it again
He's
and again
recreated
and
the
again.
same life.
Like that's the
Yeah.
true idea of infinity,
Yeah.
which is crazy to me. And also, do you just take the word of the scientists that I have no idea that the sun is actually 93 million miles away? I have no clue. I just take it for granted that some guy.
And he didn't do it with a tape measure. He fucking did it with math.
That's
like
what I'm
a piece
saying.
Of paper.
So, like the military, how they teach you is to take what you know and multiply. Right? That's how you would figure out a lot. Like, well, I know how far away is that target. All right, I know a football field is 100 yards, so I'm gonna double 2 football fields. Right? That's how they teach you to do it. So I'm sure it's possible to do it and figure out how far away, the sun is. But I'm just taking it for granted that some guy smarter than me did it. I have no clue,
just
and that's where the
doesn't make
flat
sense.
Earth shit comes in.
Yeah,
Is
it
that-
just doesn't make sense. So like, how do you know the perspective? How do
Right.
you know how far it is?
Right.
Like
Doesn't
just
make
because
sense.
you can measure feet and just add it.
Right.
But still,
right.
how do you know if it's not like a small ball?
Right,
Or a
exactly.
big ball?
You just take it for granted, right?
Yeah.
That some
I guess
guy
that's the whole
figured it.
hollow or the fucking flat Earth theory.
Right. But they want you to prove it for yourself. You could pull an Eddie Bravo and just look into it, man. Just look into it.
Yeah.
When you look into it like I have, man, you know, dude. But Eddie, you
It's
watch
like I'm not gonna
YouTube
believe it
channels.
until I'm in the fucking atmosphere
Right.
and seeing the
Right.
curve of the Earth.
Right.
All right, we'll wait till fucking SpaceX.
Yeah.
Wait till Tesla sends you up there.
Right, yeah.
But only if
didn't
you
he
have
have
a
something to do
Tesla
with Mars? Didn't he have one of
Yeah,
put
he's
people
going to
on
Mars too,
Yeah,
on top
Mars.
of fucking building a hyperloop, on top of supplying fucking Australia
Where
with
did this
power.
guy come from?
Dude, he's he's
Yeah.
either a time traveler or
He's a modern day Einstein.
Yeah.
or they
He
specifically
really is,
made
though.
Iron Man movies after him, and
Yeah.
he's actually
Yeah.
Tony
He's
Stark.
Tony Stark.
Yeah, for real. Because that dude is like the shit.
No,
man.
he's a modern
Yeah.
day Einstein for sure.
He's supposedly he's rumored to have made Bitcoin.
He did not make
He
it.
did not make
No,
it.
well, first off, no one knows where Bitcoin came from.
No,
And
there
there's
is
rumors that it
a
might-
kid who was from I
you
forget
sure?
the country. I'm positive. Vice did a thing on them where it was this kid who he ordered a pizza and he didn't have any money
So he faked it.
and any cash, but he told the guy, "I have this cryptocurrency and I'll pay you in that." And that was the first transaction from Bitcoin.
Yeah, but
ever.
I think it just sprouted on the internet. I think it came arise from somewhere.
No, because you got to
anonymously.
have people to mine it. You know
Yeah.
how they call mining.
But I think the
You
idea or
couldn't-
something came from. That's where at least I've heard. I don't
Okay,
know.
yeah, maybe. I don't know.
Maybe-
I just remember watching a
I
thing
could
from
be wrong.
Vice where this kid, who was the first person ever to do a Bitcoin transaction, he ordered a pizza, didn't have any cash, and used Bitcoin to pay for it.
I mean, imagine.
But I don't know how they created, because I don't know what one Bitcoin is worth now, $2,000 or some shit like that. So I don't know how he determined how much this is worth.
Yeah.
Because cash has been around forever. We just know that a 20
gotta get everyone to agree on it.
20, right? He just had to, whoever created it. I don't know if he created it. I just know that this kid was the first person to use it in a transaction.
Like, how did
And he might have gave him 10 Bitcoin for the
Yeah,
pizza. You
that's
know what I
crazy.
mean? Which would be worth like $1 million
Yeah.
now.
if Elon Musk did secretly invent Bitcoin? Maybe he gave the spotlight to some other kid, some pizza guy or whatever,
Okay.
some guy, right, to take the heat off of him. This dude is for sure a time traveler. 100% for sure.
But you couldn't.
Like, he's
isn't-
staying out of the limelight. I don't want to be the one to invent
But
Bitcoin.
isn't-
It's not my
Yeah,
destiny. Like,
that's true.
I'm supposed to be here for inventing Tesla and
Isn't
doing
time
these
travel
sort of things.
itself a paradox though? Because there's like a certain rule to it that if
Elon Musk can invent time travel right now, just by the fact, this is how he does it. He literally just creates another side company, or even Tesla, right? And the sole purpose for Tesla is to invent time travel. That's their underlining main goal in small writing, right? And the goal for this company, any other products that they discover while trying to crack time travel, they'll spit out and do other things, right? They'll have like this a front,
Sure.
but they'll be on the bottom underlining thing. They'll be going for
I
time
don't know,
travel,
that's
right?
some Eddie Bravo
But
shit.
then-
I don't know. I don't know if I can get into
Well,
that.
hold on. It's so simple, right? So if you create this company with the main intentions of creating time travel,
Okay.
then you would make it a goal that however long it takes for this company to create time travel, whether it's 10 years, 20 years, 100 years, 200 years, whenever it creates it in the future, the main agenda is to time travel back as soon as I'm signing this fucking paper,
And they could do it.
and I won't have to wait 100 years to create it.
But you know,
So in a way, could you not instantly? I mean, not saying that it's it didn't happen, but it's possible.
But like,
It's
if
in the realm
time
of
travel was
possibility.
already possible, we would know about it by now. Because there would have been some guy that would have came back, and we would know about it. Like, there's a paradox within time travel itself. I'm telling you.
Because they would always be a step ahead. They wouldn't be able to. They wouldn't be to get discovered. They would always be ahead, unless it was some sort of time jump where you could only do it once and you couldn't keep doing it over and over and over. The first time you would do it would be the successful time. If you ever had to redo it again, then it's proof that you can't change time.
But the way that we perceive time, it always goes ahead. You know what I'm saying? Because that's technically the fourth dimension is time.
Sure.
So it only goes forward. If this guy was actually time traveling, you wouldn't be able to just jump forward to 2030 and then jump back.
What if you could just send data back? What if you have to?
Yeah,
build
that would be something different, right?
Build
Than a visual, a physical being,
yeah,
traveling to the. Don't quote me on it, but I swear that there's some paradox within that. Like, if time travel existed, we would know about it already, because there would have been some shit from the future that I'm butchering it, but I forget where I read that from. I think it was from Neil deGrasse Tyson that was saying that, like, if it was possible, we would already know about it, because there would have been some shit that you wouldn't keep that a secret. You know what I mean? Like, if somebody could time travel, that's bigger than Area 51 with some alien.
If someone could
people
time
would
travel,
know about it.
like, say the U.S. government was the first ones to discover it, they won the arms race to any other race.
Right.
So no one else is going to have a time machine once the first person has a time machine, right? Because there's not going to be two other countries.
He's not going to let it happen.
Time. That's what I'm saying.
The person who has the first one is not going to let
That's what I'm saying.
happen.
You rule
He's gonna go back
time.
in time. Yeah.
Yeah, you would go back if they tried to stop it. You would go back, and
you would
I used to listen to these
stop it,
conspiracies, how what the U.S. government would time travel shit, but
Yeah,
they'd say how they would, like, just conspiracies on time travel.
Right.
They can send people. They'd be sitting in a room, and they could send a person who they've trained for months on how to be very observant and, like, taking records and stuff like that. They'd send them into the future or the past for, like, 5 years, and they would time travel back.
Somebody would have killed Hitler
in, like,
by now,
5
though.
seconds.
That was possible. Hitler wouldn't have existed. You know what I mean? And that shit's already set in.
I don't know if they would
Stone,
change
we
history
know
like
that.
that. You think so?
Well, they
you
wouldn't
have
change
to.
history.
You
Maybe
have
not to the past to change it, but almost to guide it. You don't think sometimes, like, some
And what
stuff
about the
is
butterfly
so weirdly
effect?
coincidental?
You know what I mean? What if
Like, how are the people in like the elitists and the people who really run the world?
Who is that, man? Who's that?
It's the bankers.
Is it bankers?
It's the bankers.
The
It's-
Rothschild?
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
it's all those royal families and
It
bankers.
is.
Those are the people who. We may not think they run the world if you don't want to say they make the
Well, money
rules,
rules the world.
but it's
so,
the money.
you know,
They're hoarding 99% of the world's wealth.
Right.
So, and they, like, own the banks.
Yeah.
So how did they get to that point? Clearly, I mean, with the banking system and all that
Some
stuff.
guy 200 years ago just had an idea and passed it down family to family, right? I mean, I think if you look up how much the Rothschilds are worth, it was like, you know, anywhere from like 70 to $100 billion. Like, shit you can't even fathom.
Oh my god.
Is how much they've accumulated over their time of whenever they first created their family. Yeah.
Life has its ups and downs, you know.
Yeah, that's for sure, definitely.
Yeah. But I honestly think staying an optimist is.
You know what? I have that
important
problem
things in
with
life.
my injuries. You know what I mean? Like, that limits me a lot. I'm in pain every day, you know, and every day I wake up, I plant my feet on the ground, and I'm instantly that's one ripple effect that could lead into a snowball to me having a bad day. And I don't have cancer. I'm not dying. You know, it could always be worse, which I kind of hate that saying, because yeah, there are kids in Africa who are starving. There are kids in America who are starving. There are people who are dying every day. But it still doesn't mean that my shit doesn't suck.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Not that I have a bad life.
Wait
but
like 10 more years and you'll probably have robot legs.
I have a doctor
Just open
now.
a pair of robot legs.
I have a doctor in Naperville who works with stem cells.
Oh, fucking hell.
And so I'm trying to get them, but they're not. Part of it might be covered by insurance. Fortunately, my father has really good Blue Cross. But for a shot, it could be anywhere from $2,000 to $20,000.
Christ.
And
you just do it right in the jugular and go to a whole body?
I would hope so, but like it depends where they get it from. They could get it from your own fat deposit, from your own bone marrow, but ideally you want to get it from a placenta that
Wait,
some
so
mother has
they
donated.
extract your own stem cells and put them back in you?
You could, but you don't want to do that ideally because
Dude.
you already have things going wrong. I already have pain. You want to get it from a placenta that's pure. 100%, nothing's fucked with it. It's never smoked a cigarette,
So
drank alcohol.
So you gotta find someone to get pregnant?
I gotta get some girl pregnant, knock her up, and then eat the placenta.
Can you do that as
Moms
a
do
wife?
that. Moms do
Like
that.
you and your wife are getting like, hey,
No way.
let's take a fucking ceremonial stem
Yeah.
cell shot.
No,
Both of us
moms
when
eat
you're
their
pregnant.
moms eat their placenta, their own placenta.
There's stem cells in that? Like a
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
You
They're
could
full of it. Yeah. That's why moms eat them.
I'm gonna order some on eBay.
Yeah. That's where you want to get it from, though. But
Start
if
going
people
to
don't
hospitals.
You got extra placentas. I'm hungry today.
But my point of that was like that's a perpetual like
Put
I
it in my
wake up
fucking protein shake.
Midnight snack.
and my shit hurts every day, and I have to work hard mentally every day to not let that bother me. It takes a lot of effort to just go, oh, I'm gonna be more positive when there's nothing I can do about it besides somehow
Yeah.
get $20,000 and get a stem cell. Other than that, I could get another surgery.
Start a GoFundMe,
Get cut
dude.
open.
It's worth $700 to $200.
I thought
$1,
about
who
that,
cares?
but they're
Yeah.
gonna go gives a fuck. You're some kid in fucking Indiana. I don't care about you.
Dude, just
You know
pitch
what
a
I
good
mean?
story. People will hear you on this.
I don't
You'll
want to
have a
do
voice
that. I
eventually,
don't
dude.
want to rely on other people.
Anyone who's hearing this, go donate to www.joeyfarosnewrobotlegs.com. We're gonna get him some new robot legs, everybody.
Yeah, road to new legs.
Road to new
I'm
legs.
starting it. Yeah.
Hashtag.
No. But and I can't relate that to anybody. I don't have any friend or family member that can relate to me with that. I don't have anybody like to talk to with that. You know what I mean? There's nobody I know that has a similar problem like that,
Well, the internet,
and I don't know what to do about it.
you have access to every human in the world now.
Because as you
the
know,
internet.
that's now led me
Yeah.
to do some shit, that I'm not proud of.
Well, I mean, that's honestly, though, something. There are tons of people who fall victim to that stuff, and there are tons of people who climb right out of it, And it's really.
I don't think I would have been in that predicament if I didn't have these injuries done to me. I don't think I would have been.
For sure. You definitely not. For sure. That's 80% of fucking people who have even gotten to the bad points have started.
It all comes from prescription.
For sure. For sure.
Opiates, definitely. But I don't know. I just think that I'd like to think that if that didn't happen to me, I wouldn't be.
But look at you now. You pulled yourself already back out. And I'm not saying you're not struggling every day. You have proven that you can do it, that you've cut it, and you've proven that you can still live. Not saying your living isn't painful every fucking day, right? But you can still live without it. And I can't even fathom the pain that you are in all the time. But dude, get yourself a badass cane.
Yeah.
But
you're saying like it's an everyday struggle.
For sure.
It
I can't
still
imagine.
is.
Dude.
Yeah. There's every day where I wake up, I'm like, man, I just want to eat it. I just want to eat some purge.
Well, you know about other pain medicine on the rise. You know about all these healthy other alternatives that are still in the works. I'm pretty sure you're familiar with
Kratom's
some
a
of them.
huge
Kratom
huge
and
benefit
Iboga
now.
or something like that.
Yeah. Well, Ibogaine they use.
Ibogaine.
It's normally to stop people from using certain drugs, whether it's alcohol or opiates or whatever it is. It's not really like a pain thing. It's like a medicine that helps block those receptors in your head that want you to crave them. But it's not like a craving for me. It's more of like.
Think about the people. Think about monks. I'm not saying I even can fathom what they even do, but like, you hear about those monks who
meditate for 20 days straight.
But they've proven that.
Sure.
Like they can cause
the balls.
severe damage and pain to
Sure.
themselves. And I'm not saying you should become a monk, but I'm saying
but
there are ways that you can manage.
But how much? Because I'm not a very strong-minded mentally. No, I could take more. I'd rather have.
Well,
metal
yes, you
rods
are. Yes, you are, because you've pulled yourself out of that. You are strong-minded, whether you think it or not. You know that not many people can do that. I personally know. I've seen so many people fall down that same path, and few of them are here to still talk to me.
Yeah.
So to think, you are a strong person. You really are, but that is you're battling something that requires all of your strength.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I know you've heard a lot of podcasts with Rogan and Carl Hart.
Yeah.
The guy who talks about that,
Mm-hmm.
and I still don't understand it clearly, but you know how he talks about how it's a mind trick. And I'm just talking about the addiction part.
Yeah.
I'm not talking about the pain.
Right.
The pain thing, you're gonna have to deal with it as best as possible. Just realize who you were then, and then realize who you'd be now with a cane. You know what I'm saying? Like, no one's gonna fucking, dude. I'm telling you, I don't think a cane. I think a cane is a leash of problems. And a cane is what gonna.
I wouldn't get a cane. No,
But if
I
that's what
wouldn't
you
do
need
that,
to, like, you know, like, maybe not like all the time cane, but like if you're on your
Well,
feet
I mean,
for
I
like
have
5 to 8 hours.
Well, that's the problem is
walking
that
around
you have to be
festival.
on your feet to live. You have to. And it was bad enough when I just had my left one done, but the right one is there's 12 pieces of metal between both my
Why
legs.
don't you do something
what I
that you don't require a lot of walking around?
Because I'm already this far into school, and for me to just drop what I'm doing and go, oh, I'm just going to pursue something else,
What are you going for though?
Kinesiology, same thing.
What if you get in a car accident and break your back? You gonna quit school then?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, then I would.
So if you barely can do it now with your injuries,
I'm 22
That's
now.
what I'm saying.
I don't know what's going to happen.
You gotta do this as a career.
And dude, you're smart as fuck when you're basically at a nutrition level. Like, you can just kind of gear your fucking thing towards a nutritionist. You can have your own office. You barely gotta fucking move. The only person you ever have to work out for is yourself, dude. And you could be a nutrition genius. I mean, they're a nutritionist, dude, who work, like, can you imagine, it's like people who are nutritionists for, like, high class people?
That would be the goal.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, don't be a nutritionist for Joe Schmoes and fucking
Yeah,
go
but
to,
that
like,
takes a very, very...
dedication.
Just like
That's-
anything else, man.
Dude, but you have a lot of knowledge and you're good at speaking. And I personally think, look at how you think about it right now with just like all the ifs and buts and stuff in the future of your legs, your pain. You're probably second guessing the fact of wanting to do this, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay,
Every day, yeah.
So that, I mean, dude, imagine though waking up with a different goal that you actually want to do, right? It'll give you a different drive, man. I'm telling you. You should just think about maybe switching it just because you know that it's, at least as of right now, the pain is not going to be getting better. If you're going to stay clean, if you're going to keep yourself clean, the best way to do it until you get those robot legs is to might be to use your brain, dude. Use your head. As soon as I fucking fucked up my back, I went back to college as soon as I fucked up my back originally. Because I knew, I'm like, I ain't fucking working in this, using my body my whole life anymore.
Yeah.
I'm like, I gotta start using my brain.
Yeah.
I mean, it sucks. Not saying it doesn't suck, but dude, what if you broke your back? What if you fucking lost your legs, you know?
Right, which that could be that could happen.
What if you re-break your leg, you know?
Right,
Yeah.
That's
what I'm saying.
Like, of course, it could always be worse, but it's just like the physical shit and the mental shit on top of it. It's just like every day, it's fuck, man.
But a lot of the mental stuff comes from that second guessing if you're gonna be able to make it that far.
Yeah.
Will my legs hold out by the time I get my degree?
Yeah.
That's gotta be a fucking anxiety ass fucking feeling, man.
But
Especially waking up and you're like, dude, how am I gonna teach people how to work out?
Yeah. Right.
That's gotta
but then
be
not
rough.
only that, it's like, okay, well, I made it this far. Now I really don't want to restart because I've kind of found something I'm okay at, and I'm not good at a lot of things. I'm only okay at a few things, and it's like I finally found the one thing, and now to think like, oh well, I'm not gonna do that anymore. When I finally found it, it's just like that just.
But you can still
turns me off.
like, and you can. It's not like you can't give workout advice as a nutritionist and all that stuff.
Yeah, sure.
I mean, and even if you focus more, if you put more eggs in that basket than you do in the more physical work basket, because like think about you want to stay fit yourself plus keep other people in shape. That's gonna be the most impossible.
That's
task.
why I've had to really think about because I'm supposed to get another surgery now, and I just don't want to do it because being cut open and having those rods drilled in, it's beyond. I mean, if I could, I don't know.
Why do they want to cut you open again?
Because
what do they have to do?
So they basically, I have no cartilage left in my joints, right? And so
Your
basically,
ankles?
picture cartilage like shocks on your car.
Yeah, I know.
So every bump, every take, there's no cushion. It's like metal on metal, bone on bone, and with the other rods drilled in there, that causes a lot of comfort too. Most people get them taken out after their bones heal. For whatever, my doctor, surgeon at the University of Chicago, says there's no reason to at the beginning, but now he's saying that a lot of those could be causing a lot of pain. But I can't just regrow cartilage, and part of the stem cells help you do that, is regrow the shocks on your car. And like there's with that cartilage loss comes loss of what's called synovial fluid, which is like the oil to your car, the lubricant to your joints. And you break that cartilage and all that synovial fluid leaks out. It heals with scar tissue over it, and now you're left with bone on bone. And the problem is that what I broke in both is what's called your talus in your ankle, and that's your main weight bearing bone in your body. And so now with those, there's two joints. one is called the navicular that helps your foot go left to right, and the other one is called your subtalar, which helps go up and down. And both of those were damaged as well as along with the ligament tear. So from all angles, I have no movement. I have no support. So every step I take, it's just grinding and pressure and pain. Yeah. So it just so happens that both of them were the main weight-bearing bones. So like before, when I'd be at work and it was just my left one, I could just stand on my right, and just kind of get it out or off. Right. But now with both of them bad, it also fucks with the way you walk. And over time, that could fuck with the way your hips are aligned. Like you start to favor certain areas, and then you might get a pelvic tilt, and you might start to lean this way, or it might, cause worse scoliosis in your back. You know what I mean? So there's a lot of things that people don't think about that all affects. You want to have as much symmetry as you can from your head down to your toes. And so the guy at the University of Chicago, he's the shit as far as I know. I mean, it's a really nice hospital. I'm fortunate enough that I live in a driving distance of such a nice hospital. And he's the head orthopedic foot and ankle guy. He's a big deal. And I had him, and I'm still fucked. Yeah. So I'm sure there's guys out there that go to the local ER and just get their shit worked on by a general orthopedic guy that doesn't know dick. And I'm sure they're worse off than I am. But that's why it's kind of depressing. Is like, fuck, man, I had the best guy around here, and I'm still fucked. So that's why it really seems like there's no option.
You're walking though now, which is a miracle in general because you fucked up your foot so bad.
Yeah.
Like you're walking with no limp.
Oh no, I limp at the end of the day for sure.
Well, at the end of the day, though. But
right.
Still,
it depends on what I did, but I mean,
Like the way that I see it, dude, is like you like your nutrition knowledge. Your fitness knowledge is more than your nutrition. Maybe I don't fucking know, right?
For sure.
So, because that's what you've been studying, right?
Yeah, well, there's nutrition in there too as well. I have a lot of nutrition class, but yeah.
So now imagine though, like when you take a break on this, especially because you got to maybe get surgery again, right? Which even if you were working,
it's going to take another 6 months.
You have to have you couldn't work for that long, right?
Couldn't go to school either.
And how are you going to get money for this stem cell stuff, right? So like,
no idea.
You learn all you can then about nutrition. Say you get a degree or whatever, and you can always once you fix your legs.
But it's all the mental shit on there too.
You can always come back to there.
Every day when it's like, oh, I wake up and it's like, man, I'm in pain. You know what I'd like to do? Just eat a couple pills. You know what I mean?
For sure.
I'll be a lot better then. You know what I mean? I'll just be able to do all this shit. I'll be able to go to school now, and I'll be able to work.
Yeah.
And when I can't do that, it's just a never-ending cycle of like, oh, I need something to get me through. It's you never want to depend on anything. Even if it's just coffee in the morning. But it's like when you have a semi-solution to this problem would be, getting a new prescription filled. That's a semi-fix to my problem. You know what I mean? But in the long term, it doesn't help me out.
You tried any like CBD or anything like that?
Yeah, I tried CBD. It helps out a little bit. Not the pills, but the rub that I put in directly, the oil directly.
You ever tried any like crazy medicines?
I mean the Kratos.
Go
Kratos
to,
work. They make something called Cat's Claw too, and they make a couple other things. That
go to Chinatown and fucking they'll fix you up.
I don't know. I don't trust those motherfuckers. I don't. It could be some gypsy.
My grandpa went there.
Sugar.
Or my grandpa went there and he said he had some backaches, and he gave him some like weird powder and he fucking started taking it and his back was fine.
Really?
Yeah.
It's coke.
Raw heroin.
Yeah.
No, sorry. I don't want to make it all about me, by the way. No. But no, I appreciate the advice though, man. That really it does feel good to have some reassurance from somebody.
Yeah, I hope it gets better.
No,
man.
I appreciate it.
I really do. So
let's. What are you gonna do about your song, dude? Are you gonna still keep it?
No, I need to change my fucking intro bad.
You didn't like it? Sunshine. It was my favorite part of the whole thing.
No,
I'm kidding.
You want to sing your own song? Get on that YouTube shit and make all these. Be a YouTube rapper now, like Jake Paul and all this shit.
Yeah.
Deep down, I wanna.
What do you guys think about that Jake Paul dude, right? Or
Logan Paul. Yeah.
He's a douchebag.
I don't think
he's so douchey that he's entertaining.
I'll tell you what, man. If I found a dead body, I would record it. For sure.
Would you?
I would.
I don't think I would.
If I made a vlog every day, you would have to record it. I'm not saying I would have done it how he did.
Yeah.
But I would have. If I was,
I would have done like, oh my god, I'm gonna be done.
I just would have done it respectfully. I wouldn't go up to him and be like, whoa, his hands are purple. This is crazy, dude. Life is no joke, man. Depression's not cool. And like, been all corny about it. Yeah.
I never even watched the full thing.
Watched it.
Yeah.
What a douchebag.
Yeah.
I see that literally went to China and he's ignorant as
fuck.
fuck.
Life is no joke, dude. Depression's not cool,
For Tokyo.
Man. Don't kill yourself.
Pokeballs like toy ones.
Yeah, dude, that guy is a douche. It's just he's so douchey that it's
But
entertaining.
he's fucked now, man. You know
gets
how
a
much
laugh.
money they make though? Jake Paul lives in Rogan's neighborhood. And bought a $7 million crib in there.
Is that who he says a teenager moved in next
Yep.
to him?
Damn.
Don't say that.
Yep, he's 21. Dude, kid's
least
got
I
a
know where Rogan
Lambo.
lives
Yeah,
now.
but he's our age. He's
Now I know
younger,
where Rogan
95.
lives.
Logan's our age, yeah. I
Yeah,
think.
well, he's 95.
Yeah. I
Yeah,
was
he's
born in
younger than
95.
us.
I'm 94.
Oh, really? 94?
December 30th, baby.
Are you? So are you 23?
How did that kid get
Yeah,
famous? Doing the
24 this
splits?
year.
What?
Dude,
How did he get famous doing? He did splits around the world. Yeah, some shit like that. I don't know.
I'd watch that.
But yeah, dude, those kids are worth each $11 million.
Oh my god. Yeah, because he
Off
started that
YouTube
stupid.
money, dude. YouTube
Just off
money.
YouTube because he
we
started
watch
this
it.
No,
company.
but I saw he got a brand deal
He got a
from
Maverick.
Coke to do they paid him $80,000 to do a Coke ad on his Instagram. $80,000
To take pictures for one
to go.
minute.
I drink Coke while I film dead bodies or whatever the fuck. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah, not Pepsi.
Wow.
I drink Coke. But yeah, 80. Dude,
I'd
there
do
were
that.
11
I guarantee he
mil
still drinks Pepsi.
for sure.
Hey, Coca-Cola,
Diet
I will do
Pepsi,
a
yeah.
plug for you
Yeah.
for $5.
Yeah, if you're listening, Coke, I won't film a dead body, and you can pay me. You can pay me $80,000.
80K.
Yeah, yeah, that kid's. But I guarantee you, he's fucked now, man. He's not gonna get deals. He
He'll
fucked
bounce
himself
back.
big.
Nah.
Well, but he's got that clothing, so he's got all these 9-year-old,
Stupid
12-year-old
ass
kids.
fucking Maverick thing.
Yeah, fucking Maverick gang.
Yeah,
Low
dude.
gang, dude. I'm in the low gang.
Yeah, it's
You know
fucking
what I mean? Like,
so stupid, dude.
Yeah.
Like his followers, his true followers
They're
who
all
love him,
12.
gotta be, dude. Yeah,
And they gave him $11 million worth, apparently.
it's
How
true,
is
and
it
just from
legal?
views.
Yeah.
They're making money from views.
Yeah.
Parents, shut this down.
Parents.
Fuck, bro. I'd do the
Parental
same thing
block
if I
your
was
kids.
in, though.
Yeah,
for
he's
sure.
smart.
But like, I mean, I don't know how. I'm sure making that clothing line really shot him up. But before that, I don't know how much money he made. But I just saw a thing that he was worth like over 10 million. So
That's insane,
crazy
dude.
off of like being a YouTube star.
Just making videos.
Yeah,
That's a fucking life, bro.
Dude,
$11
that
million.
is that is a life. I'd love to do that.
Just wake up.
Just get
what
paid to be a goofball,
what stupid
bro.
shit do I want to do today?
Yeah, I know,
And,
right?
and especially when you're worth 11 million.
And you got a lot of money to ball.
You
Yeah.
just-
God damn,
it
I'd
would
be
be
doing
hard
stupid
to make
shit.
a vlog every day if you worked at Arby's and you drove a.
You know what? I
Honda
wouldn't do
Accord.
that though. If
No.
I honestly had money like that, I would not make stupid videos of me blowing my money, like drinking.
But that's what people
I think
wanna
if I was
see.
a
Traveling.
dude, I think if I was
But
super
that's what
rich,
people
I'd
wanna
still
see.
be
They're living
drinking
for
like
you.
fucking Svedka, bro.
But that's what people want to see. They don't want to see you. You know, they want to see you take money that they can afford, fill up a pool full of Coke, and put Mentos in it. You know what I mean? Take an iPhone and destroy. They want
That's
to
so
see that
true,
shit because
but
they can't do
I would
it.
rather do something. I would rather do something equally as entertaining, but do something that is good.
Sure, because you're not a total douche, but you
Because
know,
because that's. Oh my god, that's so weird though. How people do blow like that type of money
yeah.
and get famous for it. And
It'd be
we
hard
are the
not
ones
to, though.
giving them the money to
Because
do it.
if they take an iPhone and destroy it, like they're gonna make more than $800 on that
Yeah.
one video.
Yeah,
probably,
straight up.
You know, like I, you can look. There's a website called Social Blade, and you look up and you can type in somebody's YouTube channel, and it shows how much they made that month.
Whoa.
And there's a point where he was making $60,000 a month. $60,000 a month.
Jesus
dude. You make that a year, you could afford a little apartment. You know, drive a nice car. If you made that,
Barely.
you know, a year. But a month,
Dude,
a month.
buy a car a month.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude,
Right.
that guy, but he's just like doing selfie videos of him really
Yeah.
repeating the word low gang
Yeah.
many times.
Yo, you guys in the low gang? Or are you with Jake Pauler?
Oh, Pauler.
You're a Pauler, dude.
Little Pauler.
What a totally non-creative way to call your fans.
A low gang.
I'm the Joey Faroers, man. And my
The
following.
the Far gang.
Yo, what up, Far gang? Yeah. Yeah, that shit fucking drives me insane. But that kid's fucked now for sure. He's not gonna be making $80,000 off a ad now.
Did you watch his apology video?
No, I didn't. Did he made
It's
one?
pretty douchey too.
Yeah.
What did it look like?
Half-ass apology.
Yeah.
Did he cry?
No.
He was like tearing up.
He didn't even cry.
I
You
would-
gotta cry in that, dude. You gotta cry.
I wouldn't cry.
I wouldn't cry.
You gotta cry. You
How
gotta
would you
convince
cry?
him. You
I
gotta,
feel like I'd be more of a douche if I cried.
no.
You could edit it out.
Like you
know?
purposely do that in. Yeah.
You know?
What did you? What did he say? Like a full video or
It was like 2
Just-
minutes.
of him actually talking?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's like, my followers supporting me. Don't. I deserve it. Like, shit
Really?
like that, yeah.
I'm sure if you look in the comments, all the 12-year-olds like, don't worry,
Yeah,
low
for
game
sure.
strong.
Yeah.
It's on Twitter, bro. If you go to his
Really?
account, yeah.
Really?
It's not gonna harm his true followers. Are not gonna
No,
care.
and especially with all that money he makes off the clothes.
That stupid ass clothing
Yeah.
line.
I wouldn't buy Jake Pauler merch with his name on it and shit like that. Like that's not something I want to write.
Like there's no one who's
You know?
over 15 who's rocking
Yeah.
that sweatshirt.
And I think, do you think it's too? Do you think it's too late to like join that YouTube? Because YouTube has blown up with there's a lot of accounts that have over 1 million followers now, and if you got 1 million followers, that's probably your day job,
Oh yeah.
and probably even 500,000. And like how podcasts are becoming a huge thing now. Do you think it's too late to like join in that trend?
That's what I'm
like
doing. I
YouTube
don't think so.
trying-
I think I'm definitely on the back burner for sure.
Not if it's good.
Yeah,
No.
I definitely think that.
I just wonder, like, if I created a YouTube account
Late in the
now
game.
and just went home and created a YouTube account, like, how do you get to 15 million followers?
You just do it.
networking.
Because
like a
the
motherfucker.
Paul kids came from like Vine, and
Yeah.
they made money off Vine too.
Well, those kids also, I think, to be get famous that way, you have to be super intrusive, super careless,
yeah,
and
I
carefree.
can't go around and like
Neither
do
can I.
shit in supermarkets.
I can't even
Yeah.
fucking
Make it
film
big.
myself in public and
Yeah.
talk on my phone to no one else.
But like people, in
I can't
LA,
even take out my phone and be, hey, what's up, guys?
What up,
I
Logan?
don't even Snapchat
We're out
in
here
public.
buying chicken at the
It's
local
'cause I
zoo.
hate
Yeah.
those people.
Yeah.
Me
I don't
too.
wanna be that.
I hate that too.
But nobody does
I
that around
fucking
here.
hate that. I wish I could kind of do
Every time
something.
I see somebody do that, like, dude,
Like I don't even take pictures of
fucking
my
asshole.
food out in a restaurant.
I usually take pictures of the people
Yeah.
doing that, and
Yeah.
I'll send it to
Yeah.
them.
Dude.
And if a flash comes on, I'm leaving.
Yeah.
I'm embarrassed.
I'm super cautious on even like posting the pictures that I post on Facebook. I don't
For
even
sure.
like.
Yeah.
I,
But
some people
nobody
like.
does that around here.
What's up? Yeah, dude,
If
they
you
don't
went
even
to-
check, like
if-
relook at.
If
Just-
you went to Rodeo Drive out in LA and Sunset Boulevard, you would see vloggers everywhere.
Yeah,
people do
walking
that
around,
shit.
yeah.
If they came home to Chicago or Ohio, wherever the fuck they're from,
That's probably why we're not used to it either, because we don't
Yeah.
we don't walk around and see people
No.
doing it all the time. You know what I'm
No,
saying?
it's normal for them.
Yeah, we don't go to the convenience store and see someone in the gas station coming in.
Vlog dude with a gorilla pod and a fucking
Yeah, gorilla pod.
Dude, you look like a dick,
yo?
man. Fuck.
Yeah, gorilla pods are the ones that grip everything.
The Harambe pod, yeah,
Harambe.
yeah,
R.I.P.
yeah. But do you think it's too late to join that craze?
I think I'm definitely late to the game, but I don't think it's too late at all. I think we're in a golden era for all of this stuff
Yeah.
right now.
Yeah.
So I do think we should. I think hop on it as soon as possible.
Yeah.
If you're gonna do it yes.
Yeah,
I'm really glad you created the whole thing too, man.
Yeah, I'm glad I
proud of you for
finally
that.
did it.
It's good.
Yeah.
Just talking about it for a while.
Only took a year.
I know.
Yeah, I remember. I was gonna say probably a year we were
Works, though,
talking
yeah.
about. it.
Yeah, it's been in the
Working on it,
works.
yeah.
But honestly, I could not have done it. I have to give credit to, and I don't think I've announced it yet on here, but I have to give credit to my audio guy I met. His name is Cliff.
Where'd you
For
meet him?
everyone who's listening,
Where'd you meet him?
I met him through a girl I worked with. It's her boyfriend,
Wow.
and he's going to Columbia Audio School,
Wow.
and he's like an audio engineer, and he's
Wow, good for
fucking
him.
genius when
Good
it comes to
for
this
him,
stuff,
man.
dude.
That's
And he
cool.
knows how to like all the way from everything I need to know from video, audio, and all of it, dude. And
Yeah,
he's
learn
got
as much
tons
as
of
you can
connections,
from him, man.
tons
Yeah.
of studio like openings that we
That-
can get rents an actual studio when I
That's
got
crazy.
professional people coming on.
That's crazy. Yeah.
So
that's awesome that you met
yeah,
him, man. It really
it's
is
seriously
cool.
couldn't have been. I couldn't have found anyone better. And he's a huge Joe Rogan fan.
Oh, fuck
He
yeah.
loves the content that
Good.
I put out and that we talk about.
Good.
So like
That
we are on
helps,
the
too.
100%
Yeah.
same page, dude.
Yeah.
And he's like the nicest person in the world.
Really? Good
Yeah.
for him, man. That's cool.
Yeah.
I'm glad you met him.
Yeah, honestly, I feel like it's only going up, honestly, from here.
Good. Yeah, no, proud of you for actually, because a lot of people just say they want to do
Talking,
something and never do it, And I know it takes money and it takes equipment and time, but it's good. I'm glad
Yeah.
you did it, man.
Thanks, dude.
Yeah.
Thanks for coming on too. I really appreciate you guys coming on.
No, I love it.
Yeah, we'll have to do this again.
I'm just some dickhead talking shit. I don't know anything, but
We'll definitely come on and do it more though, for sure. Anytime you're back in town.
Yeah.
Definitely
Yeah, I
go
just
on
told you, man.
YouTube, sir.
I like you.
Whenever I'm back.
I appreciate you text me and stuff. I just gotta have a heads up a
Yeah, I
little
know.
bit. At least like the night before or the morning.
You just got to
of,
schedule something like during the week too.
Yeah.
Whatever best day of the week
Yeah.
you can come out, just plan ahead of
Okay.
time. Especially because then we can plan on certain topics.
Yeah.
We can prepare ahead of time,
Yeah.
all that stuff. Because that's
Yeah.
the best way to do it.
Yeah. Perfect, man.
Cool.
That's cool with me.
All right, guys. I appreciate everyone for coming out.
See you
Yeah.
again.